With the emergence of George Mason as a top-tier research university, and investment that Inova is making in the Center for Personalized Health, plus the work that's being done at George Washington's Science and Technology campus in Loudoun County, question, how can you help bring more research dollars to Northern Virginia? 90 seconds.
Well, great. As I mentioned earlier, I've been working on this, particularly as chairwoman of the Research and Science Subcommittee. These are the kind of things that we have hearings on all the time. I have the personalized medicine area. We just had a Women in Bio event here locally where we were going to them and talking to all of them about what they need in research. My bill, which reduces the amount of paperwork that researchers have to do, means that some of these genius researchers who are down at places like George Mason, where I visited, and over the years, we got more money when we were in the State House, right, Tom, to do Lyme disease research, cancer research, and they are a leader now in that area. We have a woman who's researching there who's been named one of the top 40 most brilliant people, I believe, either in the country or the world, and she's working on nanotechnology, which will they're testing urine tests for Lyme disease and for breast cancer. Imagine how exciting that will be to have those breakthroughs, and they're going on right here in our own region. That's why I've worked with George Washington, and we do have that infrastructure here, and that's why the 21st Century Cures Bill will be a great way to get more resources here, and I have already voted to have more funding and would love to get that into this region also.
Thank you. Ms. Bennett, 90 seconds for you.
I'm a big believer in research. We in the private sector who run businesses know how important research and development is to the growing of our businesses. It's equally important to the growth of our country. So we need to vote to fund research dollars. This Congress has not voted to do that. It has cut funding for NIH. It's cut funding for all kinds of research facilities. We need to fund the research necessary. I also agree that we need to get our universities to work cooperatively and share information and work cooperatively that way. We need to prioritize this. It's something that I would certainly do, and thank you.
Thank you. Congresswoman Comstock, 60 seconds.
I mean, all of us deal with cancer and diabetes and Alzheimer's and these chronic diseases. That's why I am so passionate and have made this a top priority of what I have worked on. I'm sick of getting those calls when your friends tell you they've been diagnosed with a chronic and deadly disease like cancer. It's also I've visited and already worked on these things, as I've mentioned. The research that we're talking, we've increased the funding of NIH. It is not, we've had those increases. I still think it needs to be more. That's why we put mandated funding in the 21st Century Cures Bill. That bill is we've passed it through the House. Hopefully the Senate will take it up in the lame duck, and the President has already indicated he would sign it, and the funding in there will be mandatory, and I strongly supported that when some of my colleagues on my own side didn't. I think that is critical, and it will reduce the deficit when you get those cures to these diseases that are costing us so much in Medicare.